Welcome back to our channel. Today I will talk about an action-adventure movie from 2016 titled Mechanic: Resurrection. Without further ado, let's get started. The movie begins with Arthur Bishop, who has faked his death and is now living quietly in Rio de Janeiro as Mr. Santos. As he is enjoying a cold beer at a restaurant, he is interrupted by a mysterious woman who states that the principal she represents wants him to kill 3 men, and each death must look like an accident, just like how he faked his own death. She threatens him to do the job and return to being dead, or his new life here will end rather quickly. He excuses himself to make a call. However, he takes out his cell phone only to make a picture of the woman that will later help him identify her. She pulls out a gun, but he pushes the table into her before the other gangsters surround him. Bishop knocks them down before boarding a tram. The woman almost catches him as she pursues him, but he manages to escape by climbing onto the back of a hang glider. The movie then switches to Bishop, who sees some intruders checking out his cruise. With one click, he switches on the alarm, which results in a big explosion killing all the men. Then he heads into a container to get the money and necessary documents and vanishes. Bishop hides out in a place in Thailand, with the assistance of his friend May, to find out more about the woman and her principal before they discover him. While searching for them in his cottage, he finds the mastermind behind the scene, Raya Crane. The following day, Bishop witnesses a pretty woman, Gina, at Seashore who enters May's place seeking a first aid kit. While May is helping her, she notices some bruises on her arm and suspects the danger. She even asks if she needs any help, but Gina refuses. The same night, May hears Gina, who is staying on a boat, screaming for help. She rushes to Bishop, but he considers the situation a domestic quarrel. May urges him to help. As Bishop approaches the boat, he witnesses a man named Frank beating Gina. He retrieves Gina but accidentally kills Frank in the fight. He investigates the boat while handing over Gina, who is now unconscious, to May. While looking for something fishy, he finds Gina's passport and phone having Bishop's photograph in it. Burning down the boat to erase his traces, Bishop rushes to Gina. He inquires her about the photograph, pointing a gun at her. The first woman who had his picture before was working for Crane. Now he wants to know what she is up to and who is she working for. She tells the truth about being sent by Crane, but claims she is not working for him as he is blackmailing her. Explaining how Frank was a part of the setup, she tells how he was supposed to get mean and she was to be rescued to this island. However, the plan didn't work out as Frank got drunk and attacked her. While asking for the next step, Gina states that now she has to use a phone and call a pre-programmed number and let it ring once. That's all she knows. Bishop plans to take Crane out, while assuring her that he will set her up to live. May tells Gina about Bishop being her father's student who was a doctor of Eastern medicine and had the power to heal. On the other hand, a video of Gina instructing kids in Cambodia is later viewed by Bishop. While relaxing on the beach, Bishop approaches her and inquires about Crane's leverage on her. She tells him about how a staff member of hers was killed and how he threatened to hurt the kids if she didn't cooperate with his demands. In the bungalow, Bishop suspects 2 men on the boat that seem to be sent by Crane. Getting out of the bungalow, he holds Gina's hand, telling her about the men and taking her to May's place where people are practicing a traditional dance. May ties the two together, making them dance with each other. At night, Gina thanks him for everything and apologizes for getting him into this mess. As they talk, Bishop explains to her how he was an orphan and was sold to an East End gangster who specialized in training child soldiers. He also tells her about Crane as one of the kids who failed to escape, but Bishop did. Crane was blamed for his escape, and now he accuses Bishop. As they walk along the seashore after spending a night together, they witness a boat loaded with Crane's guys dressed as policemen riding towards them. After a brutal fight, the men successfully take Gina with them, arresting Bishop, who is now brought to Crane's place, Bangkok, to talk face to face. Sitting on a pound of Semtex, Bishop is given the task by Crane to execute the 3 targets, or Gina would die. Bishop agrees unwillingly. Warlord Krill, a mass murderer who is being imprisoned in a Malaysian jail, is the first target. The prison keeps him safe from his enemies. Along with Krill's data, Bishop finds a capsule that he will have to swallow only after the kill. Otherwise, the fuel cell will degrade and they'll never find him. On the other hand, we see Gina being taken to a cruise ship by Crane's men. In Penang, Malaysia, Bishop plans to reach the prison, which is 70 miles out to sea, set atop cliffs and surrounded by shark-infested waters. so it is impossible to get in. and nobody has ever gotten out. Moreover, Krill is surrounded by his team of loyal soldiers, making the task even harder. As Bishop looks quite similar to Martin Basman, a sexual predator, he decides to mimic him to enter the jail. To look like him, he paints a dice tattoo on his face. He plans to take 3 things with him, including a shark-repellent cream, cigarettes that will help him hide the capsule, and an explosive material that he molds into a pack of chewing gum. Getting caught by the Malaysian police, he is brought to jail, where he learns that there is another person in the prison who wants to kill Krill. He was his best assassin, but after Krill killed his brother, he wanted to take revenge. Seeing this as an opportunity to be near Krill, Bishop stabs the man when he is just about to slaughter Krill. After saving Krill's life, he is invited over for dinner, but Bishop demands to have dinner alone without his bodyguards. Bishop knocks him out at the meal by putting pressure on his neck. He then poisons him to declare the death an accident, as Crane demanded. Then, he makes Krill sit at his table so that it appears as though he was in the middle of praying. While escaping, Bishop is captured on the security cameras after the guards are informed of the situation. He engulfs the capsule, creates a hole in the prison's wall by exploding it, then dives into the water to escape. On Crane's orders, he is rescued by his men. Crane interacts with Bishop via tablet and then lets him talk with Gina. She informs him that she will be killed if the next target is not assassinated within the following 36 hours. A quick reminder, before we continue our review of this movie, if you enjoyed the video so far, please consider subscribing as we frequently upload informative and entertaining videos like these. Let's continue. Crane informs Bishop that Adrian Cook, the mining and minerals billionaire, is the next person to be killed. He made his fortune in human trafficking and is now living in the heart of downtown Sydney, atop a 58-story high-rise in a penthouse suite, protected by plenty of bodyguards. The walls and floors of the building are all concrete, 3 feet thick. Every door is made of 6-inch nickel chromium steel, and the biometric sensors and retina readers at the access points are impossible to hack. He pretends to buy an apartment close to Cook's penthouse. After copying the key, he examines the apartment building's floor plan. Mixing chemicals, Bishop devises a method to shatter the pool's glass. The next day, he enters with a duplicate key into the apartment without getting caught by security. Tethering himself to a wire, he scales the skyscraper while Cook relaxes in his glass pool outside his flat. By penetrating the glass-shattering mixture into the pool's glass, Bishop successfully manages to break the pool, resulting in Cook falling to his death. He escapes without a scratch once more. After the murder, Crane allows a call to let him see Gina. Besides talking to him, Gina focuses the camera on the boat's hull number, which leads Bishop to find Gina's place. But Crane knows he will come because Gina is his weakness. Therefore, he has already tightened the security. After a fight, Crane warns him to kill the third person or otherwise Gina will die. However, he manages to escape from there without Gina, forcing him to prepare for the third assassination. His third target is Max Adams, a wealthy American arms dealer who lives in the port town of Varna on the Black Sea. On the north side of Varna, there is a truly vulgar memorial to Bulgarian communism. Adam has spent a fortune restoring it and putting in the most comprehensive security system. Hidden in the mountainside below is the sub-pen, where Adam stocks his U-boats with intercontinental ballistic missiles. Bishop now has 24 hours to complete the task. With the help of a nearby hospital helicopter that is released to rescue one of Adam's security guards that Bishop has just shot, he successfully manages to enter the compound. After dodging several security layers, Bishop cleverly arrives in Adam's state-of-the-art panic room. As Adam enters the room, due to the ongoing security threats, he finds Bishop sitting next to him. He informs him that he can help him avoid an accident. Adam states that he warned Krill and Cook that Crane would come after all of them. Bishop explains how Krill was a warlord and #1 arms dealer in Africa, and Cook used his mining empire as a cover to control the Asian franchise while Adam ruled Europe, all of which didn't leave much for Crane. This was the reason he wanted to kill them all. The two get along and decide to cooperate rather than kill each other. Adam is forced to fake his death by blowing up his weapons by Bishop, who then informs Crane that the mission is complete. They schedule a meeting so that Crane can return Gina. Crane, however, intends to have Bishop killed. As Crane's men leave the ground to kill Bishop, he prepares traps for them. Before approaching Crane's boat, he kills them all cleverly. After killing shooters with guns, knives, and explosives, he meets Gina, and together they learn that Crane has set a timer that will explode the boat in 3 minutes. To save Gina's life, while Bishop assassinates Crane, he locks her in a chamber. As the clock ticks down, the two of them fight for life. Crane is pulling down Bishop with the help of the anchor chain, but Bishop frees himself and ties Crane up with the chains. Just then, the boat explodes, killing Crane and Bishop. When Gina opens up the chamber, she notices the capsized boat. She's saved and given medical attention by paramedics. After learning there were no survivors, Gina comes back to Cambodia to keep on teaching. She writes a letter to let May know she is secure in pursuing her passions. After a class, Gina is shocked to see Bishop standing in front of her, alive. Both smile at each other. The movie ends with Adam watching the security footage and smiling to see Bishop alive getting out of the diving bell of one of the boat's chambers that he had sneaked in before, which Adam retrieved. Adam laughs and deletes the footage. If you've already watched this movie, share your reviews with us in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more.